For the history 10 years China, quickly to be the planet's greatest aircraft marketplace, has been evolving its own planes as it seeks to weaken West manufacturers' capture on the segment. The planes done by Business Plane Corporate of China, or COMAC, include painted lot of critique. Few in the production trust China-made jets will competing those of Boeing and Bus in the close term. But analysts say how above period, country-backed COMAC, portion of China's broad shove in top tech manufacture, could problem the set players. Do not undervalue China capacity to permeate markets, says Shukar Yusuf, founding member of aircraft consultative company Enda Analysis. He says the scenery is potential to change of a Eurobus manufactured duopoly to contain a tertiary side, or house perhaps the China. So far it has constructed 2 jets, the ARJ-21 and the C919, and is work in Russia on a tertiary. Just the 90-chair, ARJ-21 jet is in facility. Yet, following affliction of intermittent, and creature tortured in sound and some problems, the plane has been sharply discarded as lower to planes of competitive environment such as Brazil's Embraer and Canada's Stryker. Amongst the critics is Teal Team Aircraft Analysis Richard Abulafia. He says how time the plane was advertised as testimony China would be the following big jet manufacturer, it rotated in an obesity and amazingly outdated food how has no appropriateness external of China's diminutive provincial airline company segment. COMAC has greater ambitions for the C919. Seating up to 168 human beings, China's at first big occupant jet is intended to competitive in Boeing's 737 MAX and Bus's LA320neo. Yet, several stay skeptical how COMAC will hit its 2021 goal taking into account the problems how enclosed its at first aircraft. Teal Team's Mr. Abulafia says down there is a severe hazard how by the period the C919 enters facility bus and Boeing will include far superior model on propose. In association in Russia, COMAC is as well evolving the CR929, a broad-body plane in a band of 12,000 km how seats 280 passengers. Order currently, just China's aircraft controller has certificated COMAC jets to flight. Its plane may as well work in components of Asia, Africa and Southward America how recognize China certificate. Yet, to extend for those markets it is necessary the verdant lighting of the U.S. Fed Aircraft Authority, FAA, and the Europe Aircraft Security Agent, ESA. Those licensing documents are far of specific. Down there is yet a big issue mark above if it will get a West certificate, Flying World's Asia financial text editor Ellis Taylor says. He says COMAC had hoped the ARJ-21 would get FAA certificate yet how has been shelved indefinitely. It's a main purchaser of West planes, but the meltdown cladding Boeing could produce more than concern in local-made alternatives. Morrows and Sullivan space advisor Ramesh Tanjavuru says, stipulated COMAC secures certificate, Boeing's twists could gas the increase of the C919 in China and overseas. They could certainly fill in the gap and be a considerable gamer in China's marketplace. But the shove in these regions as well supports Beijing's more extensive overseas politics goals. China, via its Waste and Way lead, is filling as lot as $1 billion in infrastructure facilities projects about the planet. Enda Analysis Mr. Yusuf says China's accession in aircraft manufacture is portion of the driving. He says several countries in Africa include acquired loans to construct airports how are intended to encounter the requirements of the ARJ-21. Helping poorer countries in infrastructure facilities growth, Mr. Yusuf says, is else way of house COMAC's client basis. We can't fair undervalue the China capacity to go in markets and cut a alcove wherever Bus and Boeing aren't concerned such as Africa or Center Asia.